right, girls. Well, we rehearsed.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box. To the left, in the closet. That's my stuff. Yes, if I bought it, say, don't touch.
Girl, we sound mad good.
What's poppin', everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning into yet another episode of Everything Lelona, where we talk about everything and anything, cha. Now, if you are new here, thank you so much for tuning into this particular episode. I really hope that you enjoy it and that will make you hit that little subscribe button somewhere over here. And if you are a regular subscriber, a gang, day one, what's good, what's up, what it's do, cha. I really hope that you are well and that you are taking care of yourself. Alright, so as you can see from the title of the video, we are doing a story time today, and this story time is about me dating a racist white man. Okay, like I dated someone racist and I saw the red flags, but I was like blind, you understand? So I basically dated a white man who was low-key, high-key racist, and today I'll be detailing the story behind the caption or behind the title of this video. So again, guys, as you all know that one thing about me, I'm gonna have something to sip on. So we are having some wine in a mug because we are serving some tea. So I had to bring in some reinforcement in the term or in the form of a mug, because one thing about usela iwine ngemag uzayigcwalisa, you are going to fill it to the brim because no one can see that shit, right? So cheers to you, give it to none. So without wasting any time, please do not forget to like this video, comment, subscribe, share the video. It really helps me grow this channel. So without wasting any of your time, let's get into the video. So by the way, if anyone asks why are my eyes red, mind your business. Mind your business. My day ones know why my eyes are red. So let's just get into the video. So we are literally going to start from the beginning, okay? We are going to start from the beginning of it all, okay? So where I met this man, how I met him, and when I met him. So I met this guy in the year 2000 and should I actually say the year though? Because at that time there were a lot of niggas that I was juggling, because one thing about me, I will juggle these motherfuckers, okay? So this was in the year 2000 and I'm really not sure if I should, because I know one person is going to be touched by all of this, okay? But fuck that shit, I'm gonna say it. I don't give a fuck, okay? I don't give a fuck right now. So this was in the year 2019. So I met this guy on Tinder. I was swiping, and then I saw this white man, and I was like, not bad, dude, yeah, bro? So I swiped right, and guess what? It was a match. So I did not start the conversation, he did. So on his profile, we'll call him Dean. We'll call him Dean, okay? So Dean, I swiped right on him and it was a match. And reading his profile, Dean was like 10 years older than me. So 2000, I'm 30 now, so Dean is like 40, okay? So 2019, you can calculate now about how old was I. That was like what, 4 years ago? Let's say 3 years ago. So I was like 27 and he was like 37, okay? So from his profile, it stated his age, that is 37, and Dean lives in the Sandton area. I'm not gonna say where because he's a trick. So he lived in the Sandton area. He was 37. He loved gardening. He loved being outdoors, and he loved gym. So I was like, oh, okay, Dean, let's see what this is giving, yeah, bro? So I swiped right and it was a match. Dean started a conversation with me. So he was like, hey, I'm so glad that we matched, blah, 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 blah. It's good to meet you. I'm like, hey, Dean, it's also good to meet you. I really can't wait to like get to know you. So Dean and I had a conversation literally throughout the day that day. We were like talking. And of course, when the conversation is going well, you will want to now exchange numbers and take it to WhatsApp, right? So we exchanged numbers and then we went on to WhatsApp. So Dean video called me, and I think because Dean was, okay, I'm gonna say this and you will see why I'm saying this. So Dean was low-key thinking I was a catfish. Yeah, well, I don't know why, because my pictures aren't like celebrity quality type of pictures, the pictures that I had on my Tinder profile. Like, it was just normal pictures of an everyday guy. Yeah, well. So Dean thought I was low-key a catfish, so he video calls me in your WhatsApp. And when I answer the phone, he's like, oh my gosh, it's you. I'm like, what do you mean it's me? He's like, I wasn't expecting to really see the person from the pictures. Yeah, bro. I'm like, wow, this is the person. So we like talk, we video called for like 20 minutes, I think, just talking and getting to know each other. So Dean was very funny, okay? Dean was very funny. Dean had an amazing body because, again, Dean did say that he's like really into gym. So I did say the same thing, but I'm so scared, yeah, bro. So I was like, so now as we were talking, and I could see that, listen, this guy is like packed. So now I was like, let me just do a disclosure. I'm like, listen, I really love the idea of gym. I'm not really a gym freak, so don't expect to meet a gym freak. Yeah, well, so we laughed that off and we like continue our conversation. Conversation is going smoothly and he's making me laugh, I'm making him laugh, and we're just having a good time, okay? So now, our conversations are like just texting on a daily basis on a daily basis. So we're like texting and calling each other, and things are going fine and things are going nicely, okay? We are cruising nicely. Sharp. Now, no, I'm lying when I said 2019. It was 2018 because I remember this because I was still working in Bram at the time. Yeah, bro. So Dean asks to meet up with me. He's like, can I take you on a date? I'm like, yeah, sure. When, like, where do you want to go? He's like, I'll pick you up and you'll see. Yeah, bro. Sharp. So Dean asks for my address. So I'm telling him that, okay, I work in Bram and I knock off at 5. He works in Sunninghill and he knocks off at 4. So he's like, listen, let me pick you up from work and then we'll go from your workplace to the place that we are going to go on a date to, right? Sharp. So Dean arrives at my workplace and tells me that he's outside. Obviously by that time Anka Chais is like 2-5, so he's like waiting for me. And Kule building that I work at, there is downstairs there's a food lovers market, yeah, bro. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna quickly grab some stuff at food lovers and then you'll just text me when you come out of work, right? Sharp. So I tell him, okay, no, I'm now walking out of the building. Where are you? He's like, I'm sitting outside food lovers. So I see him there. He's like the only white guy at that place, yeah, bro. So I see him and I go over to him. We hug. He's like, so he's super tall. So I've told him that I'm super short and he's like super tall. So he basically sees me and laughs and says, you weren't lying when you said you were short. So we like laugh that off and we hug. Now, because I'm short and he's tall, child, you know I hug yendoda ende. Do you know I hug of a tall man? So I'm like this. Okay, and he like bends over and hugs me from like my waist, and he holds me like, oh, Dean has big as arms, okay? Holds me and he hugs me, and I'm like, oh my god. So you know that thing we have about Abelunguba, not the best at smelling, you understand? So he didn't smell like umlungu, guys. Like I kid you not, Dean did not smell like umlungu. He smelled so good. And I was like taken aback because I'm like, okay, white boy, okay, a white boy, So we go over to his car and then he's like, no, we're going to Melville. A friend of mine opened a restaurant, so they invited us. No. So I'm like, when you say us, who are you talking about? He's like, no, some of my other friends are going to be there as well. So I'm like, I am meeting you for the first time. And I'm meeting your friends as well on the same day or same night that I'm meeting you for the first time. So I was like, this is going to be interesting. So I get there and as expected, it's just white people. Yeah, boy? It's just white people sitting on the table. Some are old, some are like his age. But I don't think there was anyone younger than Dean there. There was no one younger than 37 at that table. Everyone there was like 37 to like 57. Okay? So I'm like, okay, so I'm like with old Afrikaans, Boer people. Okay? So obviously you can tell how apprehensive I am at all of this because I'm literally the only black person at that table. And one thing about me, I deny social anxiety nje ke ngoku. I have social anxiety nje. But now I am in a space where I don't really feel comfortable because it's just white people. And andingomntu we white people kaloku, like I am a black person, pro-black. All my friends are black and like, yabo. So I am now with Buddha Afrikaans speaking people and they are literally communicating in Afrikaans and I'm just there doing this. Yabo. So I don't even know what's going on. And they would like look at me and say, oh Sham, you don't understand Afrikaans. Sorry man, sorry. So and I'm like, okay. But everyone here knows that I don't speak Afrikaans, but everyone is speaking in Afrikaans. I guess if there was one white person at a table full of Xhosa people, we would speak Xhosa, I'm sure, most of the time. And we would like look at them like, so I get it, okay? I get it. So the night goes well. Him and I are like, during the whole conversation, he would like try and like interpret things to me and we were like having our own private conversations while everyone else was like having their conversation. So because him and I, it was the first time meeting and we just wanted to get to know each other. So my initial impression of Dean based on the friends and the people that and the company that he kept, I was like, okay, he's really an Afrikaans boy, yeah, he's really an Afrikaans guy. And yeah, so I'm like, there's going to be a lot of things that we would have to get over, cultural differences. There's a bit of a generational gap as well. So there's that. Also, there's so much, there's so much because you can tell that he's still very. Everyone they knew that Dean was gay, but Dean was low-key afraid to show his feminine side, even though he had it. But with his friends, he wasn't as feminine as he was with me in the car. Yeah, so I was like, okay, Mhlambi, there's also that thing of being comfortable in your skin. Now, the date goes well. He takes me home, and then we continue our chats. Now, I remember that Dean and I had started talking or going out close to my birthday in the year 2018. So it was like close to my birthday. And I think now we've been dating for like a month or 2 months, yeah, boy? So he's like, he's gonna take me out for my birthday and I should dress nice and he's gonna pick me up from work, sharp. So on the day of my birthday, I'm at work, I knock off at 5 as usual. Knock off at 5 and then he's outside waiting for me. Now, again, remember, things between him and I are going smoothly. It's been like 2 months of us dating. I haven't really picked up on any red flags because as I was only with him and his friends that one time. And then all our other dates, it's just him and I, and he hasn't said or done anything that raises my eyebrow, yeah, bro? So he picks me up from work on my birthday and then he takes me out to my birthday dinner. So now we go to a place in Parkhurst and I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a really, really nice restaurant in Parkhurst. So he takes me there and we eat, we drink, like we have a lot to drink, okay? Like, sasela, no tingalamini. And in my head, I'm like, bro, you're driving, but you are drinking more than me. But as collabo, we are both having the time of our lives, yeah, bro? So my birthday dinner goes well and Dean now is taking me home. So on our way home, we are driving And as we're driving down from like, so if you know Joburg, let's say you were driving from Bram, Gerisik, going down from Bram towards Park Station. So we're driving from Bram to town, but through Park Station side, about Gerisik Street. So Irisik goes down as a two-way street, and then there's a point where it turns into a one-way road. You understand? So mna ke andiyazi lonto leyo, and nayo Dina kayazi, and we are both drunk, so we are not really paying attention to the road. You understand?
Hey, when we fucked up. Yes, I know. Drinking and driving is wrong, but guys, but that's besides the point.
Okay, sharp. So we drive and we enter the one way. Now we're seeing cars coming towards us. Like, so cars are coming towards us, and he's now mad and he's throwing road rage, and he's like swearing at people. Like, fuck you, what the fuck are you trying? Like, yeah, boy? So he's like road rage mode, beast mode. What a real JMPD. Hey. I agree with JMPT Yasimisa, because why? We are on a one-way road and we are going the opposite direction. Basmise, and then they come to his side of the door, and Ashley Senyanike window yak pulls down his window, and then they're like, sir, do you understand that you are going on like the wrong way? Like you are driving on a one-way road and you're going the opposite direction. So he flips on them, okay? And when he flips on them, there was some racial so when he flips on them, there were like some racial slurs that came out of his lips, and I was like, firstly, these are abantu bomthetho, these are law enforcers, and as a white man who is in the CBD in town, Joburg town, and you are calling people racial slurs, black law enforcers racial slurs. I was like, calm down. He doesn't listen to me. He goes off at them as if they are the ones who are in the wrong. I'm like, listen, so I'm trying to apologize to them. Oh no, I'm so sorry, we're not familiar with this place, we are going to a friend's place, blah 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 blah. Now the cops are infuriated at this particular point in time. They are infuriated because this guy has called them out of their names like so many times, and they don't want to listen at all. They're like, sir, get out of the car, Nancy breathalyzer, breathe, blow, Nancy breathalyzer, didn't blows, yeah, take a breathalyzer, because why? We were drinking. Now at this point in time, I'm trying to like take out a chocho, yabo, trying to take out a chocho and to give them a chocho, but no man, siyaxolisa oh shwele baba la thenga cold drink, akafuni cold drink at all, ubhuti akafuni cold drink at all, uthi lo tata lo ufuneka ngene, athi lo umfana yena ufuneka ngene eseleni namhlanje uyalala eseleni. Guys, they arrested Dean that night. Like, it's my birthday, we turned up, and nigga, you're getting arrested now because you are drunk and you make it seem as though they are the ones who are wrong, yet we both know that we are wrong. You drank and now you're driving. So the least you can do is be remorseful, and so they arrest him and they take him to that police station in Fortsburg. They take him there. Nyanike aye payana. Hi guys, wavalelwa uDean. He went inside the cells and he was arrested for the night. Now, at this point in time, it's like 12 going to 1, and I have work tomorrow. And my boyfriend now has been arrested, and I have low-key seen a side to him that I've never seen. And I'm like, this guy is actually a racist. The fuck? So like, I pick it up, and there's no way that uDean is not a racist if he said the words that he said. Okay, like he said so many things, and he would look at me like on some, your people. I'm like, how are they my people? Like, how are they my people? So I've low-key figured out that this guy is potentially a racist white man. And I don't know how to now deal with that. And now he's in prison. He's arrested because he is a racist and he's a drunk racist. So Dean has been arrested, and I'm like, listen, the thing that now must happen is that I need to go home and I need to go and sleep, because Dean obviously is going to sleep in the cells, okay? And I'm like, you know what? Let me go home. So I request an Uber, I go home, and I wake up the following morning, I go to work as usual. Now, I don't know, so even if I go there, I don't even know what I'm gonna do or say. So luckily around 9, I get a text and it's from Dean. So Dean is telling me that, listen, please come and bail me out. I am at this police station. I was there, Mosizol. It's like, when you get here, you will ask for Ubanbani and I'm gonna send you money very quickly. Please come and bail me out. Yabo? Sharp. So I make up an excuse at work on some, listen, there's an urgent thing that I need to go and attend to. Can I quickly go home and I will work back my time whenever or wherever or however. So they're like, okay, no, it's fine, go. I go and I go back to the police station. I withdraw the money and I go to the police station. We get his car because the car was impounded. We go get the car at JMPD, and then from there we drive and we go to his place. Now, this is my first time going to Dean's place, and apparently Dean is telling me about his night. Like, he is literally a Karen at this time. He's complaining about everything and anything, and I am so annoyed. Like, I feel for him that, yes, sure, you were arrested and that must have felt bad, okay? But right now, you are not taking accountability for your actions. You were wrong, right? You drank, you drive. You drank, you drove, and you drove onto the wrong side, or you were driving on the wrong side of the road, and it was basically a one-way road. We were going the opposite direction. We were in the wrong here. Take accountability of that. He doesn't do any of that. He literally blames everything and everyone around him. He's talking about the unfair treatment that he was getting because he was a white man. And I'm like, with Pelile, a privilege. You are so used to white privilege. And that is such a turn off. Like, at that point in time, I was so turned off. I was so turned off by Dean. I was like, I'm dating a Karen here. I am dating a Karen. To his place, and when we get there, it's like a cute complex. So good night, cute, and we walk into his house. And when I get there, there's like an old white lady in the house. So I'm like, okay, hello, and it's his mom. So he's like, no, I live with my mom. My mom lives with me, actually. My dad passed on. So now he goes on to the story of his dad's passing. So I now understand the dynamics of, his dad passed and then his mom came to live with him. So now this was the first time being at Dean's place. And he's like, I really want you to be here today because I really had an awful night, so I really want to be in your presence and what, so please sleep over. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, cool. So I slept over that night, and that was the first time that Dean and I actually hooked up. So we spent the night together, or I spent the night with him, and we did what couples do, because we were a couple, okay? So we did what couples do, and I was like, not bad for a white boy, not bad for a white boy. But at the back of my mind, going around his place was it was in a modern building, or modern, everything was modern except for like the furniture and stuff. I was like, okay, Udin is really giving me ibulu. Udin is really serving Afrikaans boere. Like, ideko yakhona, it's giving Afrikaans boere. And with that, dia cringe every time I think about it, because I'm like, what if they are racist family? What if they are a racist family? And you know what? They were. Because over time, Dean and I dated, and Dean would always have things to say about black people. Dean always had opinions on black culture, and Dean always had stuff to say about the way black people carry themselves and do stuff. And all of those things were never positive. The only positive things would be about me, right? So he once even said, we were like talking, he's like, you're not like the rest. So I'm like, the rest of what? He's like, the rest of the black people. I'm like, wait, what? What? If that's the case, I am not like the rest, dim or wrong, because I am a black person and I want to be like my fellow black people. Because why? I'm a black person and I love my blackness and I believe in my blackness. So when you now are saying I am not like the rest of them, I am not like them, it makes me feel a certain type of way. The fact that you refer to them as them and you like our acknowledge, I'm the only black person that you would ever like or whatever. So now in my head I was like, this guy is really fetishizing. I don't know how to say that word. We're on fetishizer. So I was like, this guy has a fetish and I am his fetish. I don't know what I am, but you're not a fetish. Now, Udin, because now we were like together, I think we did it the whole year of 2019, because we started seeing each other like late 2018, 2019 we dated, and I would notice these subtle things that Dean would do. And whenever I would be with like his friends, I would notice certain behavioral changes that would happen from when he's with me to when he's like with his friends. With him and his friends saying, like, because I didn't understand Afrikaans, they would speak in Afrikaans most of the time. And I would pick up on a few things, yeah, bro? So I'll be like, okay, these ones are really trolling black people in my presence. And you know what? That is fucked up. And you know what's fucked up? I did not bring that up to Dean. I didn't. And that was me. That was wrong of me, because I never brought all those things up to Dean. Because also, one thing about me, I'm not someone who's very confrontational. I'm confrontational. If, let's say, for example, a partner does something wrong, I would mention it in passing, but I wouldn't want to have a discussion about it. Yeah, well, so I would like just say to him, and like I would reaffirm black people to him. I would like, let's say for example, we see a black person and she's like, I'd be like, oh, she is gorgeous. So do not come with that energy. Like, we would see a black actress on TV and they'd be like, she's so dark, she's so ugly. I'd be like, that's exactly what she is. She is dark and she is gorgeous because of her darkness, because of her melanin. That's what makes her beautiful. So I would always reaffirm black people, but I would never get into Lando Banan. Actually, you seem to hate black people, and the darker they are, the more you hate them. So Dean had a lot of isms with him. Racism. Dean had a lot of colorism, because the darker a black person was, the more uglier they were to him. And he had some phobias. He was very transphobic. Like, if he would see or watching something on TV and there was a trans person, honey, he would go off at that person. And I'm like, and when someone like comes out and says, I am non-binary, I am they, them, theirs, he'd be like, that is insane. So he was someone that always had something negative to say about everything and anything. Okay, so I picked up on that, and this was in the year 2019. We did it the whole year. Now come 2020, and Coco V came. That girl came and everything was on lockdown. Right now, Dean asked me to quarantine with him, and I was like, oh, okay, sharp. So I quarantined with Dean. I moved in with him. So I moved into his complex. I was now staying with him and his mother. Okay, so now basically I live with Dean and his mother, and because I now live here, I see the nuances and the dynamics of these people. Yeah, well, now Dean has a sister who lives in Pretoria, and her sister is married and they live in Pretoria in a farm or something like that. Now they came over one day. the sister came over to see the mother and she saw me. The face she gave me. Child, she was disgusted, okay? She gets to Dean's place. I'm sitting on the couch. I have my feet on the couch. I think I was like laying on the couch. And she walks in and she's like, hello. And I was like, hi. So one thing about me, you give me a face, I will give you a face back, okay? You're not gonna look at me like I am some piece of poop because I'm gonna look at you the same way, okay? So she gives me this look and hi. And I'm like, hi. And then she's like, where's Dean? Oh, she just calls Dean. And then he comes out, emerges from his bedroom. And she's like talking to him. And I pick up that she's like talking about Onsam. And then, Manje, VSD, Yabo, VSD, what is this? Who is this? And Dean's like explaining to her that no, this is my boyfriend, he's now quarantining with me since it's COVID and coronavirus, lockdown, And she then goes and, because I think her and Dean didn't have I know for a fact that her and Dean did not have a good relationship. So she just leaves him standing there, goes to the mother outside. And she's talking to the mother and she's like asking her, because I don't speak Afrikaans, but I pick up on things when people speak in Afrikaans. So I am able to like deduce on what are people talking about. So I hear her talking about this swart boy, and that's me, okay? I am this black boy. So now she's like asking her about me, Ubana, how does she feel about me being there? And this bitch, the mother basically says to her that she did feel uncomfortable when I first got there, but now she's like being comfortable with me. So I'm like, this bitch actually is throwing me under the bus, because you didn't have to say the first part, Yokubana, you felt uncomfortable with my presence. Because also, like, it's not like you and I were in the same place, or we were just together alone. We were never together alone. It was always me, you, and Dean. Dean was working from home, and I was working from home as well. So what were you uncomfortable about? What were you uncomfortable about? So I hear this and and I'm like, you know what? This is actually disheartening, because I don't know. Living with these people and hearing them speak like this about me was just rubbing me the wrong way. Now, Dean and I started fighting a lot, because after I picked up that Dean is low-key a racist, I started correcting him every time he spoke. So every time he would say anything, any small thing that was racially controversial, I would call him out. I'm saying, you know what you just said right now is very problematic. So I would always call him out on everything and anything. And he would also unpendula on some, it's my opinion. And my opinion is just that, it's my opinion. So it's not wrong, it's just my opinion. And we always had this back and forth. Now we became so toxic to each other, where we couldn't just be in the same space without fighting about his racial controversy. Okay, so even if we are watching, say, there was a show, I think, Becoming on Mzansi Magic or something like that, and I used to watch that show, and there was like a trans person there, gay person, so he always had negative opinions about those people, and I would always have to correct him. And it's not your place. That's not your place. It's not your place to say what you just said. And again, he would be very defensive. Now, one day after one of our arguments, and I smoke, so I go outside, I roll a joint, because I'm like, it's like around 11 o'clock in the evening. I go outside, I roll myself a joint, I sit outside, there was a swing, I sit on the swing and I smoke my joint, and I sit outside and I press my phone. Now, his house had two entrances. There was the front one, which was the kitchen where we entered. We entered in the kitchen. Then there was a sliding door leading outside to like the garden area. So kulokiwe a front, right, which is the kitchen, and then I exited in the sliding door. And then I heard the sliding door, or that trailer door gate close. It's locked. Closes the sliding door and locks the sliding door. I am fucking outside, okay? Dingaphandle, del clash. Hey. So I hear the door closing and I just sit. I'm like, I want to kwenza kantoni. And then I can hear the from the light switch going off. So I tell Bana Udin wangena erumini yakhe. So now after 30 minutes of that happening, I walk over to the sliding door. The trailer door is locked. The sliding door is locked. I listen to him erumini yakhe through the window and he is snoring. Dean is asleep. So I'm like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? So I sit outside for like hours and hours and hours and hours. It can be around 2 o'clock now in the morning. I'm like, I'm gek, man. I've been outside since 11 and now it's like 2 going to 3. And then I see the bathroom light going off from his mother's bathroom. I light to Mama Wake, and then I go to the bathroom window. I knock. I'm like, can you please open for me because I locked the door mistakenly. So she opens for me. I get inside. I go inside Dean's bedroom. Dean is fast asleep. One thing about him, he was a heavy sleeper. Like if he's in bed, he's knocked out. So I go into his bedroom. I pack my stuff. I take my bag. I put it in the lounge. Ndahlala lounge kwade kwabe to 6. Woke up, opened the door, and I left. Called an Uber and I came back to my place because I still had my place. I was still paying rent at my place. So I left his place. Dean basically is under the impression that I slept outside, right? Because that's where he locked me out. Like he locked me out. Yeah, so he's still under the impression that I slept outside. So I did sleep outside basically because I only got into the house around 3 a.m. Yeah, and 6 I went outside, requested an Uber, and I came back to my place. He doesn't call me the whole flipping day. Firstly, uleli unganibonanga. Secondly, you didn't call me the whole day after the incident. And then he calls me the following day. He's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. How are you? He's like, I'm good. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, what do you mean what's going on? He's like, you just left. I'm like, I just left. I'm like, what do you mean I just left? What did you want me to do? He's like, no, but what happened? I don't remember anything. Yeah, sure, him and I fought because he was drunk, I was drunk, and we had our argument. However, you cannot forget the fact that you slept on a bed without me and you locked me outside. And I was like, it's giving slavery. It's giving slavery because why on earth would you allow your boyfriend to sleep outside? Why would you lock your boyfriend who you claim to love sleep outside? So I'm like, what do you mean? What happened? He's like, I don't remember what happened. I was so drunk. I'm like, that is fucking bullshit. You are bullshitting me right now. There's no way that you don't remember what happened. I'm like, sir, you locked me out because we had an argument about your racist ass, your transphobic ass, your colorist ass. Like, we had that argument, and because you were angry and you were salty about that, you locked me outside and you wanted me to sleep outside. So from now on, sweetie, delete my number. Forget that I ever existed and just forget me. Just forget me. So basically that is how my relationship went with my racist ass boyfriend. This guy had a fetish. Literally, I'm remembering like things now, that this guy had a fetish for black people. He just didn't like black people like that. He just liked the sexual appeal that came with being black. Like, I would see him scrolling on Instagram and it's just black alpha males, dark skinned, beards, big dicks type of thing. And I'm like, you only see black people as sex objects, ne? Like, you only see us as something that you can use for sex. It was like when I came to that realization on some, actually I deserve better. I deserve so much better than being with a white man who low-key hates my race but claims to love me, and that's so problematic. So I was like, you know what, peace out, I'm done. And yeah, I never saw him, I never spoke to him ever since then, and I'm happy without him. And you know what, that is an experience and a half, but we'll just close it there. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a huge thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.